This is how I went from being skinny to muscular. If you can't gain weight, here's exactly what you need to do. As a kid, growing up in middle school, high school, I was always called skinny. And no matter how much I felt that I ate, I wasn't gaining weight. I wasn't putting on size. And I was constantly working out, thinking that, what am I doing wrong? I'm eating a lot, and how am I not putting on more size? I know exactly how it feels to think, I think I'm eating a lot, but I'm not putting on size. I used to be that guy trying to eat like crazy, but still looking like a twig. But here's the truth. You're not actually eating enough. I know that sounds crazy if you think that you're eating a lot. If you're not gaining weight, you're not in a calorie surplus, period. I'm breaking down exactly how to build size, why most skinny guys fail, and the science behind how your body builds mass. Stick around because I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to gain mass. Being in a calorie surplus or deficit is a fundamental law within fitness nutrition. So if you're trying to gain weight, you need to be in a surplus. If not, you won't gain weight. If you're wanting to lose weight, the same thing. You need to be in a calorie deficit. If not, you will not lose weight. Your body weight is completely controlled by how many calories you're eating. Calories in versus calories out. A calorie expenditure is the amount of calories your body is burning every day. If you're in a calorie deficit, that means that the amount of calories you're eating is less than your calorie expenditure, which is the amount of calories you're burning. If you're eating less than your calorie expenditure, you're going to lose weight. And the same thing for calorie surplus. If you're not eating more than your calorie expenditure, you're not going to gain weight. So you need to figure out first, what is your calorie expenditure? Because everyone's different. Everybody has a different genetic metabolic rate. Yours might be slower or it might be faster. Mine was faster, and that's why it was hard for me to put on size. Plus, just on top of your resting metabolic rate, you also have daily activities. So are you very active? Do you play sports? Are you constantly on your feet? Are you doing a lot of running? This is something that you have to include on top of your resting metabolic rate to figure out how many calories you're actually burning. Because if you're only going off of your metabolic rate and not including any extra exercise, that's part of the reason that you don't know what your true daily expenditure is. All you skinny guys out there are underestimating your total calorie expenditure. So just for an example, if you're 150 pounds and you calculate your metabolic rate to be 1700, but you also run every day, you play sports, and you work out. If you're not including those activities and you're eating, let's say 2200, but with those activities, your total expenditure is actually 2700, you're still in a deficit and you're not gonna gain weight. These were common mistakes that kept me skinny. 1, I didn't track my calories. You can use MyFitnessPal, which is free in the App Store, to input the information to the food you're eating every day. If you don't track your calories, you're just guessing. Mistake number 2 is eating low-calorie foods. Just because you eat a plate of vegetables and it's a big plate of vegetables doesn't mean it's gonna be a lot of calories. You wanna plug it into MyFitnessPal, see how many calories it is. Just because it's a lot of food doesn't mean it's a lot of calories. So if you're eating clean, it's gonna be tougher for you to hit the higher calorie goal. So make sure you're eating enough calories by including dense calorie foods. The third mistake I made was only trying to get my calories from eating. Something that actually did help me was including drinks that had calories, like protein shakes. That's gonna be the big obvious one. You can drink mass gainers or just impact whey protein to increase your calories. Typically, they aren't as heavy as eating a big meal. You can drink multiple throughout the day to increase your calories and increase your protein. Just one of these mistakes can make a big difference from staying skinny or actually putting on size. These are 3 tips on how to actually put on size. For me, the biggest thing is eating bigger meals. So not only eating frequently throughout the day, but actually eating a bigger plate of food. Everywhere I go, I order extra protein. So double chicken, double steak. Or if I'm making it at home, instead of only eating 1 ribeye, I eat 2 ribeyes. Just try to eat more in every meal. And if eating more makes you feel really full or it's tough, which that's the best thing that's helped me. But if you don't like that, it's just eating more frequently. Instead of eating 3 times a day, try eating 4 times a day or 5 times a day. I know that sounds crazy, it sounds like a lot, but they don't need to be any crazy meals. You can sneak in smaller meals that are higher dense in calories. Tip number 2 is including butter, oil, or sauces in your meals. All of these are fats: butter, oil, and sauces. They're gonna be dense in fats, and fats are actually the highest calorie per gram. The amount of calories in a gram of fat is 9 calories compared to protein or carbs, which is only 4 calories per gram. So eating 1 gram of fat is more than double the calories than a gram of protein or a gram of carbs. It doesn't take much. If you're eating lots of fats, it's gonna have a lot of calories in it. So that's another tip that you can include in your meals, is eating sauces, eating butter or oil with your meals. And tip number 3 is making sure and prioritizing protein. That's gonna be the biggest thing if your goal is fitness specifically, not just trying to gain weight, but obviously you wanna put on mass. So aiming for a gram per body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, your goal is to hit 150 grams of protein. If you want to see a bigger change, try increasing that a little bit. And the best sources of protein for me are chicken, either chicken breast or thighs, or the tenderloins are the best in my opinion. I like a lot of eggs. That helps me hit protein. You can do sunny side up eggs are the easiest to eat. You can make like 6 sunny side up eggs and eat them all pretty quickly. I feel like they digest a lot easier and I don't feel as full. So eggs are a really good way to eat a lot of protein. Above everything, I love steak ribeyes. Tri-tip are my top ones because they still have a little bit of fat on them. Ribeye has more fat on it, but the steaks, I see the biggest difference and I feel the best and they taste the best. And making sure that I'm including steak in my diet is one of the best things that I've done. Final one is protein shakes. I honestly don't even drink protein shakes anymore. I try to get all of my protein from eating. I eat a lot of steak, ground beef, and chicken, and eggs. Those are the things that I eat to hit about 200 grams of protein per day. I would prioritize that, but if you really want to drink a protein shake to help you get those extra calories, you can do that as well. So if you're a skinny guy, my recommendation is to go into MyFitnessPal, figure out your calorie expenditure, make sure you're including your exercises throughout the day, and try to hit a 200 to 300 calorie surplus. Unless you're really small as a guy, you should be aiming for about 3,000 calories per day, prioritizing your protein. And as an example, you can do 4 to 6 eggs in the morning. You can do chicken breasts for lunch with rice or whatever your side preferences, potatoes, doing ground beef with rice or potatoes as well. And then for a late dinner, you can do steak or a burger with more potatoes. I know this sounds like a lot, but if you want to get big, you need to eat big. So step by step, exactly what you need to do is you need to figure out your calorie expenditure. You need to track your food on MyFitnessPal. You need to eat calorie dense foods. You need to drink a protein shake if you can't get it all in. And the 5th thing is staying consistent. If you're constantly doing these things, you're gonna see a difference within 2 weeks. You're gonna start to put on some weight. I was called skinny my entire life, but once I figured out how simple it was, I was able to put on mass pretty fast. Give me a comment below on what you're struggling with. So this is the science behind it. Your body has a set point for your metabolic expenditure, but as you try to increase it and eat more, your body tries to stay in a state of homeostasis. Something that's important is to just keep increasing the calories by 100 or 200 calories per day until you start to see half of a pound to a pound gain per week. Once you see your weight change half a pound to a pound in 1 week, you know that you're doing something right. Even if it seems like you're eating too much and you're full, your stomach will expand. For me, My stomach felt really small when I would eat a meal and I would get full pretty quickly. Continuously eating bigger meals will start to expand your stomach and help you eat those bigger meals to include the amount of protein or calories within your day.